What's up, guys, and welcome back to another replay cast. Today we have a Zerg versus Terran for you. It is Soulkey versus Flash. So a pretty cool and exciting game for you today. This is not a ladder replay. This game was played I think just as a practice game between the two players, or potentially on their streams. It was back in November of 2024, and we are on a map called Minstrel, which is, wow, pretty depressing. But anyway, so not just you watching, but obviously we can see that Snow and Bisu are observers, which also tells me that it is part of a show match or stream that these chaps were playing this game. So it's going to be competitive, right? They're playing on stream, they're playing for money. You know, this is where the guys really do turn it up. Flash still playing on his Flash Wicked Man alias, which is probably my favorite alias of all the ones he's ever used. And Soulkey playing under the C9_need money and the dot. Don't forget the dot, by the way. Just a tip for those who search for replays. It's very easy to miss this little dot, and if you do, you miss thousands and thousands of games that Soulkey has played. So yeah, man, to me this is modern day GOAT versus the OG GOAT, which is why I love this rivalry so much. You know, I think Soulkey has consistently been probably the best player in the last 5 years, and Flash obviously considered to be the best player of all time. One of the reasons why I'm trying to showcase as much Flash as I can is that he's recently announced in the video of Jinjins that he thinks ASL 21 will probably be his last. The carpal tunnel syndrome, which is impacting his elbows and his wrists, is really bad. He reckons after playing about 10 games, his arms are already starting to hurt. Things like the weather impacts how much the swelling happens. I mean, this is all just, it's kind of like an athlete talking about getting a bit long in the tooth, but obviously in the context of a pro gamer. So we are doing the forward racks opening here as Flash, and Soulkey is just doing a standard 12, 11, 10 on his side. So my prediction, and I don't know when this game will come out, but I can tell you that it is the 9th of March 2026 that I'm making this prediction. My prediction is that I don't think Flash will do very well in ASL 21. I think the expectation on him will be incredibly high. It'll be a lot of pressure, and if he is sore, you know, it's going to be difficult for him to perform, and the guys are good. You know, that's the reality of it. Everybody has gotten better over the years, and Flash is unlikely to have gotten better. He's only either stayed the same or gotten worse. So that's my prediction. So now I'm finding as many games of his in recent times in the run-up to the ASL against some of the players that he's likely to be facing in the knockout rounds, just to see how he's fared recently. Just to get some hype and excitement, and also just to show you guys some good Brood War. So that's the plan today, and if that's the kind of thing you can see yourself enjoying, please do hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year. We're doing really well. We're on track to hit that quite soon, and I really appreciate all the support and growth that we've had in the channel. That drone was supposed to be blocking, but didn't block anything. Anyway, so Flash comes in, sees its lair, sees its macro hatch, so all very standard stuff from Soulkey. Flash has pivoted here into a very, very quick factory. So he has an open mech. You can see he's opened making non-stop marines, but he's not going from marine to academy to eBay. Looks like he's going to want to stop the harassment with the mutas using Goliaths, I'm going to assume, because he doesn't really have a pathway to any other option based on the timing of when you would expect mutas to show up. Zerg versus Terran, man. I mean, it's hard to believe a while ago this was a matchup I would avoid, simply because I felt that I didn't have the understanding of the match, and, you know, I just didn't have the confidence. But, you know, one day I just started doing them, and I realized that this is an incredibly fun match, and there's a lot of different ways that Zergs and Terrans are thrown innovation at this matchup, and it makes it incredibly entertaining. Good job there killing off Flash's scanning SCV, although I think he pretty much knew exactly what open he's up against. We will base this obviously on what we see here. So we're making another factory, getting a machine shop. Should have an armory on the way. Flash is it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight to have those Goliaths in time. we'll see what happens here. This is going to be very interesting. So, Spire does pop. And Sulky's got the supply and the money to make 6 mutas immediately, right? So that's what he does. And, yeah, 6 mutas or 7 mutas, 1 shots in SCV. And we are not even making... Okay, now we start production on our first Goliath. This is going to be very, very tight. Does have the eBay, though. So can use turrets, which build pretty quick, as a... additional buffer against the mutalisks, and I think that's going to be necessary because here now do come our first mutas. This lovely yellow color actually looks pretty good on the mini map, so I do like our chances of tracking everything that we need to be tracking today here on Minstrel. Minstrel, what a weird name. I was out of Broodwar for a few years, guys, so for me some of these maps are brand new, so that's actually pretty exciting. Anyway, let's go. So the Mutalisk harassment begins. We have 7. We have 2 Goliaths and 2 turrets. A 3rd turret on the way. Does pick off 2 SCVs so far. A 3rd one. A 4th one. A 5th one. A 6th one. 7th one. It takes a lot of body blows and does use 1 muta. An 8th one. The one that was making the academy. And off he goes. That is some pretty damn good harassment. Well done. Taking a 3rd behind this, capitalizing on his map control. Got a few idle drones here. Hello, fellas. There we go. Off to work they go. Oh, we see Burrow. That's fun. How quaint. Burrow, the quaintest of spells. Alright, so what are we doing after this? We probably need to get a Hydra, get some lurkers going. Although, when you scout Goliaths and you know that your opponent is playing mech, I think you make Hydras, but not for the purposes of making lurker. It's probably for the purposes of fighting with like a Muta Hydra combo, I'm gonna guess. Does a bit little sloppy there, losing a Muta. Just poking in to see what the Goliath's up to. So I'd be curious to see what Soulkey does. I think he wants to strengthen his units, so he's getting the Evo Chamber probably to start carapace upgrades. Needs to be able to track the upgrade trend of the mech units, because no doubt Flash will have an armory. There we go. And he's gone straight with armor plating himself. So needs to try and strengthen those units so the trades can be effective. Mass mutas against mass Goliaths is actually feasible, and that's something I've picked up from some recent casts that I've done on the ladder. A lot of Goliaths here, though. That bunker has now stopped serving its purpose. Alrighty, so we're making Hydras, and we are researching Lurker Aspect, so it is going to be... And we're also getting a Queen's Nest. Getting Carapace for Flyers, getting standard Carapace for our ground units. So it does look like he's just going to go with Mutas so far. So Flash is just Goliath Man. It's going to be Lurkers and Hydras. Nah, it's not. Is it? We are going for Hive. And we're also now very, very interested to understand the composition. Yeah, the unit composition that Soulkey wants to use. So is Flash keen on expanding? What is he wanting to do? Another base being taken in by Soulkey in the top right. So taking basically the entire right half of this map. I think it's a 2-player map, I dare say. Yeah, I think it is. Bit more Midless Harassment coming in here. Going with Ling. Getting faster Ling movement, getting a Defiler mount. He's going to just go with Ling Lurker Muta against Goliath Tank. I don't know if that's the right composition, but luckily I'm not playing the game, so so I don't have to die wondering. The lurkers are fighting the Goliaths, and they're doing pretty damn well. So what is he going to stop him with here? There seems to be lurkers, Goliaths, mutas, diving on everything here. This seems to be working pretty well. The lurker spines are spining, man. The lurker spines are spining. Holy crap. Flash has lost his entire army here. That is crazy. It looked so daunting, man. It looked so scary. Like, how? He just like tore through him there. The lurker spines really did do a lot of work. You can see these lurkers are pretty much unopposed. You just kind of left him to do their thing. And the mutas, the lings, they just dove on top of everything. And boom, Soulkey moves into a supply lead. Crazy stuff. Trade went a little bit better for Flash. Now it seems to be moving across the map to try and harass another spot. But Soulkey's on top of this, man. He's kind of moving his army accordingly. Just spread burrowed lings here for sight. This is brilliant. You see all this yellow here? So he's got a very good idea of exactly where Flash's army is at all times. Takes down that ling. Alright, so he's waiting for this. He's got a defiler, he's got lurkers on the high ground. Still got mutas around. No radiates from Flash, interestingly enough. We do see our first Dorito cloud of the game. And Flash is just now going vultures and taking a third base behind this. A lonely Hydra gets taken care of. Yeah, taking his third base on location. Uh-oh. Oh, the mind drags, man. The mind drags are real. Just chasing down a couple of vultures. So Flash does transfer his workers and does go back into a supply lead for the time being. The muta's not getting a bit of work done. Gonna force him to... This could be a valuable target, right? Because he can't make vessels if he loses his science facility. He does pick that off. That's pretty useful. Very slow and cumbersome getting these Goliaths up here. Might lose his starport as well. Nah. I think he tries. He tries. He tries. Is he picking off the SCVs underneath, or what is he getting? Oh, so close. Gonna intercept them on the way out with more Goliaths. Soulkey's like, but there's only 4 of you. I reckon I can take 4 of you. Jesus. The micro and the speed that these guys play with. It is just unbelievable, bro. It's like subhuman. Overlord got picked off. Still the burrowing lings giving him so much visibility. So this base is now up and running, as is this. The whole right half of the map well and truly firmly in Soulkey's hands here. So Flash once again moving out, I think just to try and reinforce and protect this area here. It's pretty awkward because of where the minerals are positioned. Kind of got access to various spots. This base seems like another option as well. More Dorito clouds in the house. Only really Lings behind this though. Sulky still playing with mutas. I have not seen a single... we're getting Plague. Not seen a single Irradiate or Vessel being made in this game. Still, will not see one. We're making a lot of Lings. And we're getting all of the upgrades and all of the things. Flash wanting to expand down here in the bottom left. This map reminds me a little bit of Destination. Just in terms of its configuration. Picking off, and there's just not enough here. So Flash is just not got enough to defend. There's one Goliath. All these tanks will go down. He's going to have to pull the SCVs. Going to have a tough time protecting this base. Now throwing in a few Lings as well. Dark Swarm. Lurker under the Dark Swarm. So the Lings are getting a lot done here. It's going to just kill the Comsat station. We'll save the command center. But the speed and the relentlessness that Soulkey is playing with is playing like a man possessed here. It's crazy. So this base is just... dives in and he goes for it. Like, I don't care that your Goliaths shoot up. I've got so much muta power here. Is he ever going to go too many Goliaths is enough Goliaths, or enough Goliaths is too many Goliaths? I think I'm speaking English. So it's forced the lift off here and still can't get this back online. The harassment play from Soulkey is real. Meanwhile, he's enjoying a lot of base control himself. Plenty of money. He's established yet another base here himself while behind all this map control. Some vultures perusing around the map as much as they can. The science vessel. First science vessel of the game at 17 minutes. And that science facility pickoff was actually very, very, very valuable and telling in this game. So our first irradiate shows up, and now the power of mutas has basically been literally irradiated for the first time in this match. So we're going to have to see a new trick from Soulkey, and he's already got it in his bag of tricks, guys. It's Ultralisks. So he knows that the mutas won't scale. He's happy to sack them while he can. Still just being painful, trying to stop the establishment of this base and kill a few workers while he can. So where are our ultras is the question. Here is a lot of Ling. I think he's going to send some Ling Ultra. Once again to try and deny a base of flashes. So he got this up and running. Got this re-established. But geez, like the speed and the quality of these games is just unreal. Unreal. I'm sure the viewers of Bisu and Snow's streams are enjoying this as much as everybody else is. Sending in some Lings and some Lurkers. The Vultures are going to try and fight this. I think it's on the high ground. It's not going to get too much done here. Still got mutas. Not using them for the time being. Irradiate it on the Defiler. Just Dorito clouds galore here, man. Just pushing through. Just so much Zerg. Look at this. Now sending in some mutas to tidy this up. Just so much Zerg here. Concurrently sending in ultras to try and take down this position. And I don't think Flash is going to have anything left. That was a very convincing win by Soulkey. He is just so good. And he showed it here today. That was an insane game. I don't know if I'm that convinced about this particular build from Flash. Having no irradiates and vessels pretty much through the entire game. All the way until about 13-14 minutes. meant that Soulkey got way more done with mutas than I think he should have been allowed to, and that was probably the difference maker. But guys, these are the quality of games I'm going to be trying to bring to the channel going forward, so please do hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to hear some feedback if there's any other thoughts you had on the game or any other games or types of players you'd like me to cast. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. You take it easy, and I will see you soon.